With the transfer window a couple of weeks from closing and the start of the Premier League season just around the corner, we're hoping to see a lot of positive news regarding Arsenal and transfers in and out of the club. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the updates regarding Aaron Ramsdale and his situation. Could he be moving to Arsenal from Sheffield United? What's happening with Joe Willock? His move to Newcastle seems to have hit a little bit of a standstill. Some more potential updates regarding Tammy Abraham, this time coming out of Italy. And we'll round up some more potential outgoings from Arsenal and talk about our current injury situation ahead of the Premier League season. I'm Wayne and I appreciate you for joining me. If you are enjoying the content, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button down below. For now, let's get into the news. First off, let's talk about Aaron Ramsdale. The Sheffield United goalkeeper has been linked to us all summer in a move reportedly priced at around about £30 million. And let's just say there was a mini meltdown amongst the Arsenal fan base last night as Chris Wheatley broke the news that Arsenal were in advanced talks to sign Sheffield United goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. However, less than 12 hours later, we found out the news, as per Gunner blog of The Athletic, that Arsenal's interest in Aaron Ramsdale is on the brink of breaking down after the clubs failed to agree on a valuation. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm not a huge fan of Aaron Ramsdale, so I'm not too fussed if we miss out on him. I know all of the talk has been around potentially needing a homegrown goalkeeper, potentially wanting someone a bit younger that we can mould into a number one, but I really don't think that Aaron Ramsdale is that guy. Multiple sources aware of the deal made it clear that Sheffield United were looking for a fee of around about £30 to £35 million before they were willing to let go of Ramsdale. Reports out of the Arsenal side of things said we were only willing to spend about half of that to bring him in. There's every possibility that Sheffield United could soften their stance in the last few days before the transfer window closes, but I for one am hopeful that that's not the case. To me, spending around about 20 million on a backup goalkeeper feels a little bit excessive given the amount of work that we have to do with the first team. So that begs the question, Arsenal fans, what are we likely to do with our backup goalkeeper situation now the Ramsdale deal seems off? Notable sources in the past have linked us to Ajax's Andre Onana, especially on a cheap deal since his contract is running down. Although in my opinion, whilst Andre Onana would be a fantastic number one, given his suspension and likely participation in the African Cup of Nations, I don't think that solves our backup goalkeeping issues. The earliest Onana's likely to be able to play will be in November, and given the African Cup of Nations is early in the new year, you're potentially only getting about 3 months worth of football, assuming he comes in and is fit. For me, targeting a backup goalkeeper is still important to this summer's work. We've seen links to Freddie Woodman in the past. We've also seen links previously to Sam Johnston from West Bromwich Albion. So you guys let me know in the comment section down below or over on Twitter who you'd like us to target for our goalkeeping situation. I'm not sure we'll sign 2 goalkeepers this summer, but if we've got the money to fund Ramsdale at around about 20 million, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to put down at least half of that towards Onana and half of that towards a backup goalkeeper. Next up in terms of incomings on our agenda seems to be Tammy Abraham still, to sort out our centre forward position. Reports coming out of Italy over the last few days or so have suggested that Roma agreed a 5 million loan fee plus an option of around about 35 million for Tammy Abraham to go sign for Roma. This was followed up with footage and reports of Roma chief Thiago Pinto coming out to London so that he can try and finalise the deal. However, further updates have suggested that Tammy Abraham prefers to join the Arsenal while talks continue with Roma. Subsequently, that's meant that we've offered Roma Lacazette. Now, given recent goal troubles, particularly last season and this pre-season, I think centre forward does need to be high on our priority list. Signing Tammy Abraham, though, would be quite underwhelming, especially considering we've previously been linked to Lautaro Martinez from Inter. Me personally, I'd prefer we stay away from signing from Chelsea. We've been scarred in the past, and although Abraham is a completely different profile and age range in comparison to the likes of Petr Cech and Willian, I'm not sure Tammy Abraham is the answer. However, once again, just like the Ramsdale situation, you let me know in the comments down below or over on Twitter who you'd like us to sign as our centre forward. That seems to be it in terms of incomings. We've not really heard much else on the James Maddison case, but the big news surrounding Arsenal right now is all about outgoings. This week, news broke that Joe Willock was close to agreeing a move to Newcastle for a fee of around about £22 million. And today, we've got breaking news that Newcastle have made a breakthrough with Joe Willock regarding his personal terms. Now, whilst it's a shame to see Joe Willock leave, considering he's from Hale End and grew up as an Arsenal fan, I completely understand the logic behind his sale. At the moment, the way in which Arteta plays his system, there isn't really a role or a perfect fit for Joe Willock to excel. And he's probably one of the only assets that we can get a high value transfer fee for. Considering we seem to be putting all of our efforts into signing the one and only James Maddison, unfortunately it seems as though Joe Willock has to be the collateral in order to make that deal potentially happen. But as we saw from last season, Joe Willock had a great loan spell over at Newcastle. The fans seem to really like him, so I wish him all the best luck in the world. I'm sure we'll be keeping a close eye on his development as Arsenal fans. Another Arsenal player who's been linked with a departure all summer long is Kolasinac. And the reported news from Turkey overnight is that he's looking for a contract termination so that he can go and join Mesut Ozil over at Fenerbahce. Considering we have Kieran Tierney and we've also brought in Nuno Tavares, I'm not surprised that Kolasinac is looking for a way out. Not only the fact that we're probably not going to play him, he simply isn't good enough for Arsenal at this stage in his career. However, I don't see us just simply releasing him from his contract. That just doesn't make financial sense from our point of view. So hopefully some agreement with Fenerbahce can be made. Another player who's been linked with a summer exit is Hector Bellerin. The Arsenal right back last summer was previously linked to PSG for the majority of it. However, this summer has seen links to him joining Inter Milan. I, for one, am an advocate to see Bellerin leave this summer. I just think it's time to cut ties and give him a fresh start as well as ourselves, and hopefully bring in a new right back in the process. However, unfortunately, it looks as though Inter Milan are now going to be out of the running for Hector Bellerin. News from Italy last night reported that Inter and PSV have agreed terms over Dumfries worth 14 million euros. Given PSG have signed Hakimi, and given now Inter's interest in Dumfries, it seems Bellerin might be with us for the season. If that is the case, I think we can put all interest in any right backs on pause until potentially January or next summer at the earliest. I'm struggling to think of any other teams that may potentially come in for Bellerin at a late stage. If there are any teams that you can think of, please let me know in the comments down below. And finally, in terms of news, today Mikel Arteta gave his first press conference ahead of the Premier League match tomorrow against Brentford. You'll be able to find the quotes over on Arsenal.com. However, the most important part for me was the injury report that has been released on Arsenal.com. We received updates on Thomas Partey, Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel, and it seems likely we'll be without all of them until the first international break at the very least. With Gabriel injured, I think that definitely means Pablo Mari will get the start as that left centre-back. Against Ivan Toney, that could prove a little bit problematic in terms of pace. But talking of Pablo Mari and the first 11, tomorrow I'll be dropping my first 1 to 11 prediction video on the channel. Alongside that, I'll also be previewing the season for Arsenal. I'll also be sure to give my prediction on the result as well. So to be the first notified of when that video goes live, be sure that you've subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell as well. Until then, stay safe. I hope the excitement of the season is starting to build up regardless of who you support. I'm not quite there yet given how disappointing this summer has been in terms of incomings for Arsenal. But once I see that starting 11 for the Brentford game to kick off the Premier League season, I'm sure I'll get there. All the best, take care, and I'll see you for the next video soon. Peace.